Know how we all love these Uno Reverse stories or the find out stories. And this is not yet an Uno Reverse, but it is a future Uno Reverse. Let's get into this one. This woman says, my husband wants an open marriage and is causing fights. Now, yesterday when I saw this, I immediately started snapping screenshots, but it was very early into the conversation because it was literally 3 hours after she posted it. But I was just like, I know that this is going to require some updates later. Anyways, this woman says, my husband and I have been married for almost 9 years and have 2 young kids. He has recently been talking about how he wants to open the marriage. He says it's not because I'm not enough. It's because he needs the excitement of dating someone new again. I don't want to do that. I told him that. He says it's nerves. He gave me some audiobooks to listen to on the subject and told me to research it. He said it'll likely take years to actually come up with an answer. He has brought up things like this before. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a threesome, etc. But I thought that was just typical male fantasy stuff. I didn't exactly think that was going to become some very important thing he feels he needed to do later on. He wants to involve me in all of these things. Like it wouldn't be him going out and banging other women. He'd want me there and participating, i.e., he needs her to be there to help capture the girls. Okay, I've not got any desire to do anything with a woman. I'm perfectly happy with my husband, and he's enough for me. I tried to be open about it and I did some research and I listened to half the audiobook, but nothing has even remotely changed my mind. This evening, he mentioned how I haven't said anything about it in a few days, and I told him I really didn't have anything else to say about it. He said he was hurt because he's been waiting on me to bring it up and how I know it's important to him. And he asked me when I was planning on saying anything. I told him I've been thinking about it and I was going to bring it up in the next day or two. I'm going out of town to visit a family member this weekend. He blew up and has moved all his stuff into the guest room. He says he was hurt and I became defensive by saying in a day or two he would not let me get a word in. I was trying to tell him I wasn't being defensive. I was just answering his question, but I never got to tell him that. This isn't exactly making me want to broach the subject again with him. He swears he will still be happy with me if I don't allow it, but I don't believe that. I feel very pressured to do this. I'm not really sure what I'm asking, just venting. I guess I don't know. I'm just sitting in bed alone crying, and I have no one to talk to about any of this. This is coercion. This is bullying. And this relationship is not going to last as it is. If he is getting so mad that she won't be agreeable to open the marriage and he is storming out of the bedroom, this relationship is already on its last leg and he is going to find out soon enough. He's going to find out soon enough. And then he's going to be blindsided and, all of the things that happen with these things. I don't know if this woman wants to explore dating other men. She doesn't sound remotely interested, but I do know that this is not a very healthy way to have a relationship. So Yolo says he most likely has a woman in mind or a crush. Start using protection. There's a high chance he will cheat with all of these desires. Try couples therapy and start preparing an exit plan. He sounds set on this. His attitude sucks. I wouldn't trust him now. Hope the best for you. Don't give in on this. Bubbly performer said, my first thought was, did you ask what her name is? So then someone says, yes, he wants to cheat. He may have started already. Let your best friend know you need support. Take someone to the lawyer's appointment with you. Exactly this. He's using manipulation and coercion. That is not a recipe for a successful marriage, open or monogamous. I'm astounded that he's laying into you for not responding quicker. I bet most partners would consider even the act of asking grounds for divorce. Absolutely. You entertained and explored, and it's not for you. I'd be digging through his phone and emails to see who he has lined up because his actions make me wonder if he was counting on you being able to firm up your plans. He 100% has someone else in mind. He sounds awful. This person says, have him spend a few hours scrolling through the open marriage regret subreddit. Yes, that subreddit. Anytime these end up on Reddit, it's amazing. I love their regret because they truly get to feel the consequences of their action, and they should. This person says at the bottom, looking forward to the update where OP reluctantly agrees to try it out and immediately starts going out on dates 5 nights a week while her husband gets zero interest, gets pissy, and wants to close the relationship. Tale as old as time. Like this cartoon. Him, why don't we open our marriage? Her, oh my God, that's such a good idea. And then this is her options over here with all of the people coming through her door. And then here's his options with the empty door, no people coming through. Okay, remember, I saw that thread last night. Well, just this morning, I decided, let me go see if she started typing some things. So she had. She started commenting on the post. So this person, 1 minute please, says, do not allow him to manipulate you into being a part of this. I would say consult a lawyer because I don't see this ending well. Also, don't appease his childish behavior because moving his stuff into a spare room is something a child would do to try to force you to change your mind. So call his bluff and tell him it looks like he is looking for a separation or a divorce. And if that is the road he is taking, you will be looking to talk to a lawyer. Does your husband have a corn addiction? Because that is what it sounds like to me. The OP responds with, he does watch corn, but what he prefers is to read erotic stories. Okay, someone else asked, are there any signs that he may have someone already in mind, like a coworker? Is he protective of his phone? Does he come home later than normal? And the woman says, no, there's not any. I have access to his phone. I haven't gone through it. I don't think he has anyone in mind at the moment. Last week he brought it up. Wouldn't it be cool if I found a woman and set him up on a blind date while I'm gone? I said I wasn't going to do that. He needs his wife to find him a woman. And he thought that that was going to go. These people are bold. Okay, so this person, Miss America 59, says, you aren't attracted to women by the sounds of your post. So he knows that an open marriage is 2 ways, right? And that you would also be sleeping with other men in this scenario. How does he feel about that? He can't have it both ways. And the OP says, he says he'd be fine with me hunching with other men, says he wants me to experience that. He's the only one I've ever been with, but it more so sounds like he wants to bring another girl in and us being both involved with that. And I'm not attracted to women. So I will certainly be watching this because this just sounds like it's about to blow up and this husband is going to find out what happens. But you guys go ahead and chime in. I know that you guys enjoy these open marriage threads just like I do. Chime in. Don't forget to share these posts. Along with summertime, find out season is one of my favorite seasons. So this person made an update. He said, I lost my wife update. I know everyone says this, but I really wasn't expecting that many comments and people finding this. I would have answered them, but the comments are locked for some reason. Okay, so before I go into this, let's see what his original post was. It was deleted, but someone captured it and put it in the comments. Someone says, this was the deleted post. I lost my wife. For this story, you're going to need some backstory. I, 25 male, met my now wife, 24, when I was 18 and she was 17. We met when I was a chef at a restaurant and she was a hostess for the restaurant. She was and still is the most breathtaking woman I've ever met. When we were 20 and 21, I proposed and she said yes. Then everything went to hell when she got pregnant, and unfortunately, due to the stress of the pregnancy, I relapsed in my drug addiction. I was worried about how I was going to provide for my family. My wife, unfortunately, miscarried at 5 months. It's understandable that she went through unimaginable pain. I was too, and all I wanted was to be with my wife. She kept rejecting me and rejecting me. I turned to Reddit for advice, where I met a woman, and we hooked up together. There is no excuse for everything I did, especially what I said in the following. When she found out, she was a mess. She cried and begged to know why, and I told her, "Why do you think I have needs and you neglected them for way too long? What did you want me to do? You can't withhold sex from me and expect me not to go crazy here. I worked hard to provide for you, and yet you couldn't even give me one decent orgasm." She turned to me with her tear stained face and said, "Really? You agree with those other men on Reddit?" I simply shrugged. She got up and said, "Okay, I understand. You have your needs. Please stop sleeping with her. I'll do whatever you want." That's when I decided to go to rehab and get sober. It's been a year since then. I've made my amends. I got a new sponsor and been going to meetings. And until recently, I thought everything was back to normal because I was getting all of my meals, massages, and an active sex life again. While doing some laundry, I found a notebook. My wife enjoys to write. So I smiled to myself, thinking I was going to read some of her stories. I wish it was. It was her journal. And now I feel disgusted with myself after what I read. She wrote how she's scared of me, how she doesn't know if she still loves me, how she fakes it with me every single time. I really thought everything was normal. I was getting homemade meals, foot massages, basically everything. But now thinking about it, she doesn't really talk to me. Like today, I asked about her day and she just said fine. Or I could ask her, "What did you do today?" And she'll just be like, "Work. Came home and made dinner." Her birthday is next week, and I asked her what she wants to do, and she just shrugged and said, "It's just another day. Don't waste your money. I don't know what else to do. Please give me all the advice and criticisms, please. Thank you." So that is what got deleted. Now back to this update. Okay, so he took her out to dinner. I took her out to dinner for her birthday, but afterwards it ended up being a complete bust. She kept trying to give me the money that was spent back to me. When I refused, she just went upstairs and put on some lingerie and said, "Is this what you want instead?" I don't know why, but I started to break down. I really realized the effect I had on her. She asked me what was wrong, and I told her everything. I told her about the journals. I told her that I'd do anything, and I mean anything, to get back to our old relationship before I screwed everything up. She just sighed and flew into this long and angry rant. She said, "Men never know what they want. They complain and whine when their wives don't want sex. They'll call the wives all types of names while painting the husbands as this blameless victim. They'll tell the husband that she's cheating. You need to leave and make sure she doesn't get a dime, get a side chick. But when you get sex, now you complain about how I don't want you to feel forced. I love you. It's impossible to make you happy. You called me boring, so I changed my lingerie. I strive myself to fit into this stupid thing for all for you. I wanted homemade meals. I'm sorry, you wanted homemade meals. I got up and made those stupid homemade meals. You got everything you wanted. You won." I just whispered, "I didn't want this. I love you. I didn't want to ruin you." She just replied, I don't want to talk about this. I'm going to sleep on the couch." I closed the bedroom door and said, "No, I destroyed the relationship. Please let me be the one who sleeps on the couch." She said, "Whatever." And I went downstairs to sleep. And now I'm here sleeping on the couch. If you have any advice from here, please help me. If you've ever cheated on your partner, please help me. Thank you. Okay, so the person in the middle says, "Yeah, I usually have empathy for folks, but wife of a cheater, 2 years post discovery, staying for a multitude of reasons. Let the poor woman go. She's living in hell." And for my bit of empathy is probably not all brought on my you, or I guess by you. Maybe y'all needed to be together to learn something, and now you have, and it's done. Grow apart and let yourselves be free of that misery. This person says he's in the find out phase of F around and find out. It's my favorite phase. Mine too. This person says, "Holy crap, just divorce her and leave that poor woman alone. She deserves so much better than this bull from you." And then this person says, "Doesn't sound like you lost her. It sounds like you broke her and still have her conditioned into thinking she needs to try harder to please you. Are you?" And then he quotes this: "I just whispered, I didn't want this. I love you. I didn't want to ruin you." And the person says, "Are you stuck in a cheesy soap opera?" All right, this will be where I end it. Actions have consequences. Now you see what consequences yours had. Please release her so she can find her person. and what I circled. So I was able to read your original post as well. Frankly, you are a monster. Leave her and give her a chance at a real life with real love. And then the last one, I never say divorce, but divorce her. You have dehumanized her beyond repair, and you are still doing so by begging her to forgive you when you outright abandoned her at her worst and then kept digging in your heels in until you realize that what that does to a person. In my eyes, you are an abuser, and you need to be out of relationships and in therapy to make sure this doesn't happen again. As in this one, it is long ingrained that this is just how things work. Please free her and let her heal with someone who won't treat her like you did when she needed you the most. That is where I'll end it. He is totally getting it in the comments. And I didn't see the original post, but I'm sure he was really getting it in those comments as well. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Is Find Out season your favorite season after summer? Please let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.